and our third organisation this evening is SEED. This is Australia's first Indigenous Youth Climate Network. And here to present is National Co-Director Amelia Talford. Give Amelia a big round of applause.
My name's Amelia, and I would firstly like to begin by acknowledging the country that we're on, and in his absence, I think he may have ran off, but thank Uncle Chika for welcoming us here to the land of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. Home for me, and really where this story starts, or my story, is up on the north coast of New South Wales, not too far from here. I'm a proud Aboriginal and South Sea Islander woman from the Midgeville clan of the Bundjalung Nation. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm a bit nervous. I'm sure you could hear that. But there's also been a lot that's going on within our community recently. So really just trying to funnel the emotion and the energy into the work that drives me working with our young people. As I mentioned, my story does go back to home on the north coast of New South Wales. My family comes from around Tweed Heads. Some of you might be familiar with how beautiful that part of the world is, and how much it would mean to someone who comes from there. Growing up, my parents instilled really strong values in my brothers and I about looking after our land for everything that it provides for us. And growing up, we'd go to the beach pretty much twice a day. It's an incredible place. And as I started becoming older and becoming more aware of the changes that I was seeing around me, I started to become aware of the impacts of climate change. In particular, I started witnessing a lot of coastal erosion along the east coast of Australia. We had a cyclone hit Kingscliff and impact the Kingscliff beach, the park where my family would spend Christmas every year and still do, is completely irrecognisable. And it was at this time that I was also learning about climate change at high school, and learning more about who I am as a proud Aboriginal woman, and learning about the impacts that this is having on not only my home but people's homes right across the country. And it was at that point that I heard about an organisation called the Australian Youth Climate Coalition, who were bringing together young people nationally who care about this issue and who wanted to do something about it. And I was fortunate to go to an event in Brisbane called Power Shift, where there were over 1,000 young people who came together and who were taking action in their local community just like I was. So I got involved in an environment group at my school, and we were advocating to get solar panels on the roof of my school, and a whole range of other things. But it was by being connected to this network that I felt like I was making a difference. But something else that I was feeling was that I realised that I was one of the only Aboriginal young people who identified as being Indigenous in the room. And for me that was a huge glaring issue, because climate change and the destruction of our country here in Australia and around the world impacts Indigenous people most. And too often it's people who have done the least to cause the issue who face the most severe consequences. Whether it's rising sea levels in the Torres Strait, whether it's droughts, bushfires, floods, our communities are already amongst the most vulnerable in the world. And when hit by these, we are the ones that really struggle to be able to fight back and fight for our land that is being destroyed by the causes of climate change as well. And so I was really lucky to be one of the many young people right across this country who are supported to be taking action, and I was able to raise the issue that there is a glaring gap in terms of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander young people having a platform to take action, having being connected with other young people, and having training and access to the skills to be able to take action and create the change that we need to see in our communities. And in doing so, I was fortunate enough to be able to work for the organisation, the Australian Youth Climate Coalition, and build a branch specifically for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander young people. It's now known as SEED, and having launched 2 years ago, we've reached over 100 young people who are a part of our network. We are putting this issue on the agenda of our communities. And we are connecting with Indigenous people around the world who are fighting on the front lines of this, but also at the forefront of change. We are the ones that know the solutions best, and like Maddie said, we are like the importance for young carers. We are Indigenous young people working for Indigenous young people, and we are incredibly unique. We're one of the only organisations that are doing this work. Right now, there are thousands of young people in high schools right across the country who, just like me, are looking for an opportunity to be able to connect and to be able to be a part of creating change. Our young people make up the majority of our population, young people under 25, of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander population. And with your support, we would be able to expand our network to high school students across Victoria. By $10,000 would help us train 10 young people to reach 200 students across Victoria. But we also are connected with young people right across this country. So the more money we raise, the more young people will be able to reach in schools where there's so much energy from our existing volunteers who really want to get out there and reach other young people. So with your support, the opportunities are endless. Thank you so much.